I'm Manhlum, and I am the founder of Back on My Feet, and it's our theory that we can create more self-worth and self-value and happiness in the world by creating a foundation of health. So Back on My Feet is a national for-purpose 501c3 organization that uses running as a vehicle to help the homeless change the way they see themselves so they can change their direction of their life. So we operate in 11 markets around the country, and we have hundreds of members who are currently going through homelessness running at 5:30 in the morning. We track attendance, mileage, and attitude, and through our program, our members move into next steps where they get a life coach, and they get opportunities with our employment partners, as well as learning about their credit score, their background checks, and how to have a more self-sufficient life by first focusing on emotional transformation. Back on My Feet has a very personal story for me. I've been a runner since I was 16 years old and began running to deal with my dad's addictions that he was going through, at the time gambling, but when I was really young it was drugs and alcohol. So running was my outlet. And the homelessness was not like an issue that I championed, but there were these guys outside a homeless shelter who frankly reminded me of my dad, and some way felt so connected to them and thought if I helped them I could almost vicariously heal the relationship with my father through a sport that helped me through that difficult time. So that's how everything started, and now it's become, a bold mission of, again, using running as a sport and a vehicle to help people change the way they see themselves to create a better life for them. I think it's so simple. I mean, we complicate things all the time, and it really comes down to people wanting the same thing. We all want to be appreciated, valued, cared for, loved, and given credit for the work that we do. And so if we can figure out how to bring those elements into social issues, which is exactly what we did with homelessness, we made people, again, see themselves differently to help motivate them to know that they're capable and deserving. We can take that concept, anywhere, and just kind of getting back to basics. People have the reaction of homelessness and running is an oxymoron. Homeless people can't run. Aren't homeless individuals lazy, and aren't they drinking all day, and they don't want to work, and they definitely don't want to work hard, and running is hard. How are they doing this? And then you think of a runner, and you think of somebody who's disciplined, motivated, type A, maybe a little bit anal, and you think these things can't possibly go together. Somebody who's homeless cannot be responsible and motivated, can they? And so we use that in our favor to create curiosity, and then we just storytell. We get people to hear our members' stories and who they are and what they're trying to accomplish, and at the end of that process they're just rooting for our members to succeed, and they respect them, because anybody who's waking up at 5:30 in the morning to run, there's an immediate respect factor that comes along with that. I think one of the biggest lessons that we've been able to help teach people without preaching at them is, even think how we define somebody who's homeless. We call them a homeless person. We don't use that term. We call somebody who's going through homelessness. It's an experience. It doesn't define them. So that's very important for us as language, even with think of the issue itself, and usually you are serving or feeding the homeless. Someone told me something which was very profound and simple. You don't feed the homeless, you feed dogs. But we've created an environment where there's usually a table, and I'm over here, and then somebody who's homeless is over here. And we don't do that at Back on My Feet. We form circles in the morning when we run and we get together. Everybody's a member, whether or not you have $1 million in your bank account or you have nothing. Only thing that matters out there is your character and who's the fastest. You can't tell who's going through certain shit, who's got a felony, any of those things. Like, you have a chance to really be part of a community, and our members feel that. They feel the equality in this organization. They don't feel like, we're here and we're better than you and we're serving and helping you and we're not all humans. Like, it's very humanizing.